Good morning. My name is Laurie Garduque. I direct the Justice Grant Making at the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, and I'm pleased to welcome you here, and good morning to all of you. I am standing in for the president of the MacArthur Foundation, Julia Stash, who on the last run of the day, on the last day of her skiing vacation, yes, took a tumble. And unfortunately, while the injury wasn't terribly serious, was unable to join us. And it's disappointing to all of us at the foundation, and I'm sure to all of you, to not hear from Julie personally, because she's been certainly one of the driving forces behind MacArthur's decision to move in the direction of the Safety and Justice Challenge, our $75 million investment, our initial investment, focusing on over-incarceration and how America thinks about and uses jails. So I'm going to be reading her remarks, speaking in her voice, so please bear with me in that some of this will, I'll be reading literally the remarks to you this morning. So first, let me welcome some of our honored guests. We are pleased to have with us from the Department of Justice, Amy Solomon, who is a senior advisor to the Assistant Attorney General in the Office of Justice Programs. It has been a great encouragement to see the Department of Justice's stand with respect to overuse of incarceration in the United States, and we're very pleased to have the department's strong endorsement of our shared goals. We also welcome Justin Volpe from the Jail Diversion Program in Miami, Florida, who will share with us the experiences of someone who has been in jail, seen jail from the inside, and now works within the system to keep others out. We're also pleased to have us joined by Nick Turner, President and Director of the Vera Institute of Justice, who is here to share the findings of a report entitled Incarceration's Front Door: The Misuse of Jails in America. The report highlights the crisis in our nation's jails and the impact that their overuse has had on individuals, families, and communities. Vera has taken a hard look at who goes to jail, why admissions have doubled over 30 years to almost 12 million annually, and key decision points at which reforms are possible. We were privileged to support this work. It is encouraging to have these allies sharing the stage with me, but still more encouraging to look out at all of you who are equally committed to a criminal justice system that is more effective at the local level. As MacArthur studied how best to make a contribution to reform, we were struck by the changing climate at the federal level, the impressive work at the state level, and by the relative neglect of local systems. Cities and counties face numerous and complex challenges in law enforcement, often with mandates and constraints over which they have little control. Yet this front end of the justice system is the only part that most people ever encounter and is critical to any understanding of the issue of over-incarceration. We were persuaded that a more concerted effort in local systems, particularly in how jails were being used and the policies and practices that put people there, keep them coming back, was crucial to reducing over-incarceration and the place where our investment could have the most impact. Our panel discussion later this morning brings together leaders who have spent their careers addressing precisely these challenges. We look forward to hearing their insights and best hopes for change. We are grateful to Bill Keller of the Marshall Project for his efforts in bringing attention to criminal justice reform and for being here to moderate that panel. Stan Hilke, Executive Director of Colorado's Department of Public Safety, spent many years at the local level and will share his assessment of how local and state systems can work together for better outcomes. That's a full morning's work, and I hope you will find it helpful and heartening. Now let me say a few words about what drew MacArthur to this area of work and what we hope for. MacArthur, many of you know, has been active in the field of juvenile justice for nearly 20 years. Our Models for Change program worked for over a decade in a variety of ways at both the state and local level in over 35 states to promote developmentally appropriate, fair, more rational, and more effective ways of dealing with young offenders. We have supported research efforts in adolescent development and juvenile justice, in law and neuroscience, and innovations in mental health care for people in the justice system. We've worked many years toward a more robust system of international justice, both through the International Commission on Criminal Courts and regional courts to prosecute human rights abuses. A concern for justice is a key to our institutional identity. MacArthur has also spent decades working in cities, often in neighborhoods that face economic deprivation and social dislocation. Crime, encounters with law enforcement, jail time, and imprisonment have a gravely disproportionate impact in these places. They feed unhealthy dynamics of mistrust, violence, and despair that stand in the way of recovery and revitalization. A couple of years ago, I was asked by the board which problem in the United States seemed to be most in need of urgent attention. I answered almost without thinking, incarceration, and I would give the same answer today. It is unpardonable to me that America, land of the free, should lead the world in locking people up. I feel the frustration of law enforcement officials who feel their time is wasted on petty offenses instead of serious crime. I cannot justify the $60 billion spent each year on correctional institutions when so many other areas are in dire need of investment. I cannot comprehend what citizens think of justice when their personal experience of it come from underfunded, overcrowded jails filled with people of color who are too poor to raise bail. I am ashamed that so many people who suffer mental illnesses are behind bars instead of getting the help they need in the community. But I am also encouraged that so many people of goodwill in the criminal justice system and in our society and in this room share these concerns and are determined that we can do better. Across America, we see a remarkable convergence across political divides that stricter laws, harsher punishments, longer sentences have set a disastrous course. Justice professionals, researchers, and advocates have undertaken pioneering evidence-based work to make better use of our resources, improve relationships between the police and communities, limit unnecessary arrests, refine pretrial services, divert people from jails, offer better treatment options, and make recovery a positive experience. The Safety and Justice Challenge seeks to strengthen these endeavors, share successes, and build alliances across the country to spur deep and lasting reform. Our emphasis will be on local jurisdictions solving local problems, with the understanding that success will spur others to do the same. Our role will be to provide resources, technical assistance, a network of supportive allies, and to draw attention to positive change and make that change a national imperative. At the end of the morning, you will hear about the details and design principles of the challenge, and I hope many of you will share news of this opportunity, apply, and partner with us. MacArthur looks forward to a justice system that is more efficient, more effective, more equal, and more in keeping with the founding values of America. We are confident that the professionals in our local justice systems have the expertise, the integrity, and the dedication to make this hope a reality. We offer our resources, our influence, and our firm support to make this a reality. And thank you all for being here. So we have a very ambitious program today. I want to give a particular shout out to our hosts, the Pretrial Justice Institute, who has made all of our arrangements, helped us in developing the program, lining up the speakers. Charisse and her staff have been a fabulous job. Please let us know if there are any particular issues you want to bring to our attention, and we'll be certain to respond to them. So I will now move into introducing our speakers, and we're delighted to have Amy Solomon, who, as I noted earlier, is a senior advisor to the Assistant Attorney General at the U.S. Department of Justice. She provides policy guidance on issues including prisoner reentry, justice reform, well, probably prisoner reform too, urban policy and place-based initiatives, and has established and chaired the Federal Interagency Reentry Council Working Group, which supports the cabinet-level Reentry Council, spearheading coordination, policy improvements, impacting public safety, public housing, employment, education, veterans issues, and access to treatment, health, and benefits. I think Amy fully understands what is needed to accomplish criminal justice reform in this country. She works closely with senior officials across the administration on domestic policy initiatives, including Promise Zones, My Brother's Keeper, Pay for Success, and key components of the Ladders of Opportunity agenda. Please welcome Amy Solomon.